Hi friends, welcome to today's video, which is a little bit different from normal, but I'm going to be teaching you how to vermicompost in two 5-gallon buckets. Now this is a super simple method, very perfect for anyone living in a smaller space. So like me, I pretty much only have a balcony area, so that's where I usually keep this. I brought it into my room right now just to film this video and so I don't have so much outside noise, but you could even keep it indoors, like in your kitchen or something. And it's just so perfect because 5-gallon buckets can be stacked upright, so you're really not taking up too much space. This is only about like less than 1 square foot, I think. I've seen other videos using 3 5-gallon buckets, but I think just 2 is all you need. You do need something at the base, which I'll show what I use as a kind of drip catchment, but you really don't need a full bucket for that. You can use some sort of pan or box. But yeah, I'm going to be showing you how I made this and how I use it and how it's such a super efficient way to do a kind of rotation system. Please feel free to leave any questions down below as we're going through this video. And let's get started. So pretty much, like I said, you only need 2 5-gallon buckets and you actually only need 1 lid. This is going on the top bucket when you stack them. So as you see, I have this black one and this orange one, and pretty much all you need to do is drill holes along the upper regions of both buckets. So I drilled some around here as well as around here, kind of where the ridges are, and I also drilled around the whole kind of body of this orange one, but I realized you really don't need to do that. What you do need to do though is also drill holes at the base of both buckets as well as at the top. You'll want to do how I have these. I kind of just scattered them around. Pretty sure I used a 1/4 inch drill bit. Nothing too strategic, just these are going to be acting as your ventilation holes. So I had them scattered around here every couple of inches or so. Same for these, just scattered them every couple of inches, and along the bottom I copied kind of what I did for the top. And why you need it on the bottom is one, for drainage to drip down any excess liquids, and it also allows the worms inside to travel up and down between the 2 bins. You're going to be going back and forth with both bins, so once one of them is kind of eaten up and processed, the worms can travel either up or down to the bin that has more of the fresh food for them to eat. So once you have all those holes drilled, that's pretty much all you have to do setup wise. Then you'll go ahead and stack your buckets up into a setup like this. So my top bucket right now is actually pretty finished compost. You've got this pretty brown, hope I don't drop any, but yeah, it's pretty shredded up. It still could use a little bit more work. Oops, I'm totally dropping this on my rug. But it's pretty processed. I don't really see too many worms in this one. There might be a few lingering, but more of my worms are actually in the bottom bin. So what I do is place the bottom bin as more of what's working, what's filled with all the food I want it to compost down. And then so once I empty out this more finished stuff, put this into my plants, I'll then repeat the process. So this black bin I moved to the top, but it previously was on the bottom. The top is just what I'm going to be taking out and using for my plants, and then once it's empty I'm going to be starting up from scratch again. In my orange bin, you can see this is the more pretty fresh stuff. There's some like plant leaves in there. This is where more of the worms are. What I'll do when I'm starting the new bin, I'll also add in some of the more old already processed compost, so that already has some worms in it. It has some little bit more stable, I'd say, compost already going, just so the fresh stuff isn't like rotting away. I feel like I like to add some worms into there like automatically in case they don't climb up and down the holes at the base of these bins. Basically what I do for setup is I'll throw a bunch of shredded newspaper. If you have a paper shredder, that's perfect. That'll be the first like inch or so of just dry brown bedding, and then on top of that I'll add my food waste, and that it can be anything fruit or vegetable scraps. The only things you want to avoid are like oil, meats, dairy, that kind of stuff. I've also heard it's not so great to add a lot of citrus. Just kind of alternate going back with the brown waste and green waste. So things like cardboard, newspaper, dried up leaves, stuff like that. Alternate that with more wet stuff, your fresh fruit and vegetable scraps. Kind of just judge it like to eye and feel. You kind of want the texture of a wrung out sponge, so moist but not dripping. You can also judge by scent. If it's getting like that rotten sour smell, you know it's too wet. And if you're like not seeing any moisture in there, then it's probably too dry. So I'd say just, like I said, kind of go back and forth with the two and make sure you're getting somewhat of a balance. There's like different ratios according to different people, but it's honestly so hard to judge because every product has like different density and all that. So really just like check on your compost every couple of days, I'd say, to gauge that and add either wet or dry according to how it's going. Don't dump all your wet ingredients in one go and be like 10% dry, 90% wet stuff. That'll probably be way off. So in here, like I said, this is more of the working stuff. You can see all the worms going in there. This is some newspaper and banana peel or something, but yeah, there's tons of worms going. You'll notice hopefully they multiply pretty quickly. I just started with a little Ziploc bag I got from school of about, I don't know, not a ton of worms, maybe 20 to 50, and they rapidly multiplied. I've been doing these for about a year now, I want to say, and it's been going pretty well. I say I get a finished bin every couple of months. The hardest thing is just striking that balance of wet and dry components. But once you get the hang of it, and again, just checking on it regularly, making sure your worms are moving around and doing okay in there, I recommend the 5-gallon bucket method. Super simple to just stack on top like this. And then I like to fill them about a third of the way full with all my waste components. And then once it's about that third, I'll switch it back under. And hopefully at that point, this orange one will be a bit more processed and I can start using it already. And it's just this awesome cycle that has a really balanced and easy way of doing it. Some notes: make sure to keep it under shade just so it prevents it from getting too hot, as well as any rain from getting into it. Don't want that added moisture or heat. So yeah, shaded, dry spot is the way to go. Covered on like a balcony or patio area, I think is perfect. Hope you guys try this method out. Please let me know if you do. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave them down below, or if you have any tips for me as well. So from my worms and me, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content like this, I plan to do maybe some other gardening videos, but I post a bunch of other random content. Check me out, subscribe if you'd like, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.